students, welcome to my channel Learning History Made Easy. In today's video, I will be explaining the 5-mark questions and the map question from the final model paper. The 10-mark questions will be explained in the coming video. Before getting into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time or if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share it with your friends, and also click the bell button to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. And if anyone wants to download the PDF document of the model papers, link is given in the description box. You can download it from the same. So without wasting time, let us get into the video. So 5-mark questions. It's a continuation from the last video. Write about Subsidiary Alliance and Doctrine of Lapse. So here 2 topics you have to write. One is about Subsidiary Alliance and the other is about Doctrine of Lapse. So Subsidiary Alliance, it was brought into force by Lord Wellesley in 1798. Its main aim was the expansion of British Empire in India. According to this, the allying king had to keep a British army in his state, and he had to bear the expenses of that army. Any ruler who was unable to pay the expenses had to cede a part of his kingdom to the British. He also had to keep a British resident in his court, and the king also should not have trade relations with other European countries. The king of such states were not allowed to appoint foreigners in their administration and army without the prior permission of the British. The company was responsible for the protection of that state, and the Hyderabad Nizam was the first to sign the Treaty of Subsidiary Alliance. Later, the rulers of Mysore, Oudh, Travancore, Jaipur, Jodhpur, etc. also signed the treaty. So these were the points regarding Subsidiary Alliance. So that becomes the first part of your answer. Now the second part is Doctrine of Lapse. Lord Dalhousie came to India as the Governor General in 1848. And he introduced this policy to achieve the aim of extending direct British rule over India. According to this policy, when the ruler of a protected state died without a natural heir, then that state would pass on to the British Empire. The British annexed Satara, Jaipur, Udaipur, Jhansi, Nagpur, etc. by following this policy. So this is the 5-mark answer for Subsidiary Alliance and Doctrine of Lapse. So let us move on to the next question. Explain the impact of geography on Indian history. This is a repeated question. So let us see how we are going to write the answer. So just an introduction. The physical features of India, such as the Himalayas, northern plains, deserts, mountains, etc., have helped the development of different political units and cultures. Now about each physical features we are going to explain. First is Himalayas. It separates India from rest of Asia, and it forms a natural barrier and protect India from invaders and cold wind coming from the north. They had given birth to many rivers. These rivers form the most fertile plain which were cradle of civilization. The 2 main passes, such as the Khyber and Bolan Pass, have helped India to have commercial and cultural relation with the West. Next, deserts and forests. They have made the people hard-working and warlike. Then oceans. The oceans served as means of connecting the rest of the world. They have helped to develop commercial and cultural relations. Next is rivers. They have made the country agrarian and influenced the rise and fall of many dynasties. Rivers provided varieties of minerals and rocks, and the rocks and stones like sandstone, marble, granite, etc. have helped the development of architecture. It also helped in the growth of rich flora and fauna. Now a conclusion. This is how geography impacts Indian history. So this is the answer for that question. So any one of you wants detailed explanation of any of these answers, you can go to the chapter wise videos. There you will find each topic explained in detail. So the next question, what were the factors responsible for the rise of new religion? So the factors, the first one, complication of Vedic religion. Early Vedic age religion was very simple. Later, it became complex due to the influence of priests and elaborate ceremonies. Supremacy of priestly class. Brahmanas established supremacy over other castes. They enjoyed a number of special privileges. Animal sacrifice. This was a very costly practice and people started losing belief in the religion. Rites and rituals also became complex in later Vedic age. For all the worldly attainments, yagas and rituals were recommended. Chanting of mantras. Vedic literature was in Sanskrit and this language was mastered by the priestly class and common people found it very difficult to understand. People started losing faith in chanting of mantras. Caste system. Discrimination existed among different castes. Brahmanas enjoyed high status and Shudras had to suffer. Birth of great personalities. Two great personalities, Mahavira and Gautama Buddha, preached simple principles of life in the language of common people. This attracted the common people towards the new faith. Now the next question. So all these were the factors responsible for the rise of new religion. So 6 points are there. Each point you can write and just underline the main points and then give the explanation. Next question. What were the important factors that led to the growth of Indian nationalism? So the first factor, the British considered India to be only a colony which provided cheap raw materials and a market for their finished goods. This economic policy destroyed the economic structure that existed. Indian village industries, petty trade and peasantry suffered. Unemployment began to grow and India became economically backward. The British provided a uniform system of administration and judicial system by establishing political unity for a substantive period. Third point, the Western system of education in English broke the monopoly of traditional education system practiced in Sanskrit, Persian and Arabic. The enlightened Indians began to compare their existing conditions to that of Europe, and the success of Germany and Italy against foreign dominance and establishment of a united independent nation inspired the nationalists. Fourth point, the British considered themselves to be racially superior to Indians. They discriminated and degraded the Indians. All high offices in administration, judiciary and legislature were with the British. The Queen's proclamation in 1858 promised to include more Indians into military and administration, but the entry of Indians into important offices was made difficult. The British looked down upon the Indian culture and heritage. Now the fifth point, the British waged a series of wars and followed policies like Subsidiary Alliance and Doctrine of Lapse to establish political supremacy over India. The rulers and officers who lost their power and prestige turned against the British. The Indian press and literature inspired nationalism among Indians. The plight of the people due to the impact of administrative policies and lapses of British government were published. And many articles and poems inspiring nationalism were published both in English and vernacular languages. Scholars like R.G. Bhandarkar, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Swami Vivekananda conducted research and brought to light the glorious cultural past of India. All these filled nationalists with pride and self-confidence, and all these brought the feeling of nationalism among Indians. So this was the answer. 6 points were there. 6 points you have to explain in 2 or 3 sentences. Now the next question, explain the village administration of Cholas. The Chola village administration, so they had a very good system of administration which was centralized. King was not absolute. Now regarding village administration, village autonomy was an important feature of Chola administration. People of the village looked after the administration through their elected representatives. Uttaramerur inscription of Parantaka 1 gives us clear information about the village administration. According to this inscription, village was divided into 30 parts called as Kudumbu. And one representative from each unit was elected for a period of 1 year, and the members were elected through a lucky draw system called as Kuduvalai. Villagers assembled in the temple on the day of election, and the names of candidates to be elected were written on a palm leaf and put in a pot. A small boy was asked to pick leaves one after the other in the presence of everybody, and thus the representatives were elected. Elected representatives have to work in the annual committee, garden committee and tank bund committee, and these committees were called as Variums and its representatives were called as Variya Perumakkal. These committees worked for 360 days, and the duty of the village committee were protection of the village property, collection of taxes, protection of lakes, temples, etc. And the resolutions of the committee were written. Central administration did not interfere in the village administration unnecessarily. Minimum qualifications of the members. The candidate should possess a minimum of half acre of taxable land. He should reside in his own house built in own site. He should be more than 35 and less than 70 years of age. He should possess knowledge of Vedas, Brahmanakas and commerce, and he should possess a good character. Now some disqualifications. If he is a member of any committee continuously for the previous 3 years, he is disqualified for re-election. Those in committee who do not submit accounts and his close relatives, alcoholic, thieves, those accused for murdering a Brahmin and committing adultery, all are disqualified. These were some of the minimum disqualifications and qualifications followed in the village administration. And some scholars have termed the Chola village administration as small democratic state. So this is how you write the answer. Now the next question, discuss the role of Raja Ram Mohan Roy in socio-religious reform movement. Now Raja Ram Mohan Roy is called the father of Indian Renaissance and the morning star of Indian Renaissance. He was born in 1772 at Radhanagar in Bengal. Ramakant Roy and Tarini Devi were his parents. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a great scholar and proficient in many languages like Arabic, Persian, English, French, Latin, etc. He had deep knowledge of Hinduism, Islam, Christianity and Sufism. He was very much influenced by English language and Western thought. His primary aim was to reform society and religion. He had to face the challenges of Orthodox Hindu and fanatic Christian missionaries. He established the Brahma Samaj in 1828 at Calcutta, and there were superstitions and blind beliefs in Hindu religion, and Brahma Samaj took up the cause of reforming Hindu society. It taught that God is one, every religion possesses truth, idol worship and ritualism and are meaningless, and social evils have no connection with religion. The Brahma Samaj led a crusade against the practice of sati, polygamy, child marriage, marriage with minor girls, etc. It encouraged intercaste marriage, widow remarriage and women education. The Brahma Samaj started many education institutions, published newspapers and magazines, and arranged lectures and tours for its members to come in direct contact with the people. He was one of the earliest to propagate modern education, and he maintained an English school at Calcutta at his own cost. He established a Vedanta college where Indian knowledge and Western science were taught. He supported Lord William Bentinck and got Sati Prohibition Act passed in 1829. He published a Bengali journal, Samvad Kaumudi. So these were the points regarding the reforms of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Now the last 5-mark question, describe the chief characteristics of Gandhara school of art. Now Gandhara art, as an introduction you can write, Kanishka was a great patron of art, and many important constructions of art are found at Gandhara, Mathura, Kanishkapura and Takshashila. The period of Kushanas is important for the growth of Gandhara art. Now regarding the chief characteristics, life-size statues of Gautama Buddha were carved in this school. Until then, Buddhist existence was shown only in the form of symbols like lotus, umbrella, etc. Utmost care was given to the symmetry of the body while carving the statues, and muscles and mustaches were shown in natural setting. The folds and turns of the clothes were exhibited with minute care and skill, and the ornaments that were carved on the statues received much attention. This added to the physical beauty of the statue. Polishing the statue was also an important feature of this art. The main material used for preparing the statues was stone, terracotta and clay. The technique used in making the statue was Greek, but the idea, inspiration and personality were Indian. According to Dr. R.C. Majumdar, the Gandhara artist had the hands of a Greek but the heart of an Indian. That you can write as a conclusion. So all these were the points regarding Gandhara School of Art. Now next, let us see the map question. See, as I have always told, detailed map explanation is given in the chapter wise videos, chapter 8 regarding map question. Here I am just quickly going through the places. See, first place is here Harappa, Panipat, Agra, Patliputra, Calcutta, Dandi, Bombay, Bidar, Halebeedu and Srirangapatna are the places asked in this map. So you have to mark the places and you have to write at least 1 or 2 sentence explanation. So first is Harappa. It is one of the important sites of Indus civilization and is situated on the bank of river Ravi. It is now in western Punjab in Pakistan. Raja Ram Sahani excavated this site in 1921. The Great Granary is an important building found here. Next is Patliputra. It is presently called as Patna, the capital of Bihar state, and is on the banks of river Ganges. It was a capital of Magadha Empire, Mauryas and the Guptas. Halebeedu. It is in Hassan district of Karnataka. Its early name was Dwarasamudra and it was a capital of Hoysalas. Hoysaleshwara and Shantaleshwara temple is located here. Panipat. It is in Haryana state. It was a great battlefield in the history of India and 3 great battles were fought here. Next, Agra. It is on the bank of river Yamuna in Uttar Pradesh. It was founded by Sikandar Lodi. It became the capital of Mughals. Taj Mahal is a famous monument of Agra. Bidar. It is in northern part of Karnataka and was a capital of Bahmani kingdom. Muhammad Gawan built his madrasa here. Calcutta. It is capital of West Bengal, situated on the bank of river Hooghly. Calcutta was the first capital of British in India. Swami Vivekananda established Ramakrishna Mission at Belur Mutt near Calcutta. Bombay. It is the capital of Maharashtra and was a main settlement of British on the western coast of India. The first session of the Indian National Congress was held here. Srirangapatna. It is in Mandya district of Karnataka. It was the capital of the early Wadayars of Mysore, Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. Darya Daulat Palace and Sri Ranganatha Temple are the famous monuments found here. Dandi. It is in the western coast of Gujarat. Mahatma Gandhi organized the famous Salt Satyagraha movement at this place. So all these are the 10 places. Out of this, any 5 you will have to mark. Now the next video will be about 10 mark questions. But with the next 2 videos, this passing package series will be completed. So please go through all the papers continuously. The 3 papers given in this passing package series will be really helpful for you for your exams. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. You can download the PDF notes of these model papers from the link given in the description box. And also don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and shares will be of a great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. So I hope to see you very soon in the coming video. Thank you for watching and keep on revising.